Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts. And so here, this is pre-market prep for Thursday, March 20th. Gonna go through the normal tickers, and then at the end, I did want to very briefly go over Tesla. Yeah, first starting off with UVIX, that's the 2x long VIX futures ETF, closed yesterday at a price of $34.65, being down nearly 7% on the day, but it looks like it's bouncing about 1% in the pre-market, currently right around $35 a share. And so what we can see here is that looks like we tested the 50-day moving average yesterday, which is currently at $32.70, hit a low yesterday of $32.95. So kissing that level before bouncing. But we did, start the day higher and the day lower. And that is, of course, because of the FOMC meeting coming to a close yesterday and Jerome Powell, or JPOW, speaking, and I believe I didn't listen to his speech, but being, more dovish. No rate cut right now, but it does look like we are going to see the end of quantitative tightening, or QT, I believe. And so if we just look over at the 10-minute time frame, we can see here that we did see this fade drop a little bit, at the beginning of trading yesterday on the 19th, then consolidate, effectively forming a bear flag here before heading lower, as Jerome Powell was speaking. And so what I was expecting to happen yesterday was it to go up a little bit more before he spoke, and then for it to come down. Does look like we did see a little bit of a bounce towards the end of the trading for yesterday, which held into the after hours with a little bit of a fade, but then we are seeing a bounce higher in the pre-market. So yeah, just looking at this, looking at the red box, we are getting pretty close to, at that low at $13.95, we are getting pretty close to that $32 level, the bottom of this red box. But, in all honesty, I do think that this could be heading to 30. So while I do have an alert there, I don't have any buy orders placed, just keeping an eye on it. But yeah, I do think that from, even just where it's currently at, I think that there is, a more than 20% move to the upside to test that downtrending light blue line, which is the top of this downtrending channel that we can see here. We have traded in, for the most part, since pulling back from this high over here on August 5th of 2024. And I should also note too that the 200-day moving average is at a price of 46.07, so that could be a nice level that we're headed to. But again, I do think that 32 and I suspect 30 will likely be getting hit before then. But then just switching over to the VIX, this is the market volatility index, which closed yesterday at 1990, being down over 8% on the day. No pre-market or after hours trading with this one. But yeah, we did put in a pretty nice bearish engulfing candle engulfing, let's see, Tuesday's open and close over here from Tuesday. Didn't get all of the trading from that day in that candle, but pretty close. And it does look like, this is really just a continuation of the downtrend that we have seen since we topped out on March 11th when we hit a high of $29.57. And also, I should note too, this is the first day we have closed below $20 a share since over here on February 28th. So this is the first time in March that we've closed below 19, and I do think this could be headed lower. Do have the 50-day moving average here at, let's see, 1858, 200-day moving average at 1715, and I'm sure you notice we do have this yellow downtrend here that has acted as resistance. But then I do think that could be acting as support. So this could be heading down, as low as around $15 a share. So do keep that in mind. And then also now moving on to the SPY. This is the S&P 500 tracking ETF, which closed yesterday at a price of $567.13, being up over 1% on the day, but being down about 1/3% in the pre-market. And so yeah, we do have this pretty nice bounce here, especially following, the FOMC meeting and Jerome Powell speaking. Are we going to be getting into this little circle over here that I have drawn? I am very curious about that, as it does look like we did get a rejection from the 200-day moving average yesterday, which is at a price of $571.04. Did wick up to that level, or nearly that level, just like I believe it was at the UVIX that kissed the 50-day moving average over here. Looking at the SPY, we hit a high yesterday of $570.95, being, let's see, what is that? Being 9 cents lower than that 200-day moving average. So maybe there's a rejection there, quite possible. Maybe we pull back to test around 560 as support before we start heading up to around 575 to get back to this confluence of levels. And one thing that I believe I wanted to do with, actually, no, I guess it was not with SPY. I think it was with Bitcoin. I wanted to redraw some lines. And yeah, I mean, with this, I still think that, this yellow downtrend, the confluence of levels there around 575, I think that's something that we need to be keeping our eyes on. But then looking over at the 10-minute time frame here, pretty massive sell-off, it looks like, in the pre-market. So kind of surprising there. All of these, red candles here. It looks like we started the 20th pre-market with this little gap up there that you can see, then did go for about 40 minutes higher, but then rolling over quite notably. And so just looking at this from yesterday, we did have, a move up, a pullback, move up, pullback, and then a nice rally towards the end of the day corresponding with JPOW speaking, and then a pullback into close, holding that while floating higher. And then, like I said, that gap up before selling off a little bit in the pre-market. So yeah, I mean, with this, I would look for a potential bounce and retest of $560. Do have this line that I have drawn here, kind of corresponding with the double tops over here. That is at around 561. So do keep that in mind. And also should note that the low from yesterday, $561.63, being, 41 cents above the white line that I've drawn here at 561.22. So if it does pull back to around 560, I think that's just going to be a little dip before it does continue up to around 575. And then real quick, looking over at the SPX, this is the S&P 500 index, closed yesterday at a price of $5,675.29, just like the SPY, being up around 1% on the day. No pre-market or after-hours trading with this one, but we did get kind of, double top over here with another wick up and, a nice little green candle there, just like the one that we saw on Tuesday. However, the SPX did not get up to the 500-day moving average, which would be right around a price of $5,746. But we do have, these confluence of levels up here, right around $5,773, right around there. I suspect that we could be heading back there, but maybe we get a pullback to around $5,600, somewhere around there. So that'd be about a drop of around $75. And one thing, just talking about, this potentially being a double top here, I think something good for us to look at that we do not have over here on the SPX is check out the volume of the SPY. And so what we can see here is kind of this double top, getting that rejection from the 500-day moving average. We did put in a higher high here, but then if we look at the volume, we see the volume from Tuesday the 17th. That would be Monday the 17th. I'm not used to making videos in pre-market, still getting used to it. So on Monday the 17th over here, volume was 49 million shares traded, versus yesterday, Wednesday, was 66.5 million shares traded. So while it does look like we're potentially getting a double top here, volume is increasing, so that's a good look. Also, looking at that MACD, it does look like it could be flipping green very soon, so I think that could be looking very nice. But anyways, let's flip over to Bitcoin. This is one where I kind of wanted to redraw some levels. One of them that I do definitely want to leave here is going to be the purple line that is around, 92 to $93,000, acted as very notable support over here. Very nice dip buying level, even just for swing trading on these bounces. And so that did, while it acted as support over there, acted as resistance here. I suspect it will be acting as resistance again. So I will probably leave that line up there. One thing that I think I can probably remove is this Fibonacci level, the 786, right around, $93,500, just to remove a little bit of clutter. And then also, let's see. We did fill the, let's see, CME gap that was formed a couple weekends ago. As I had mentioned yesterday, did sell the swing Bitcoin that I had a little premature, so I could have made over $1. Instead, I made about 70 cents on that $20 swing. So nothing too crazy there, really just kind of having fun experimenting with that CME gap. But it does look like that CME gap has been filled, so I'm just going to make that line solid. Got those two levels there. And, finally, this white arrow that I have there was filled. So I'll delete that white arrow. We do have, let's see, this level here at 83,000. I don't know how serious of a level that is. I do think that 79 to the downside, that could potentially be pretty important. So yeah, 83, I might delete that purple line just to clean this up a little bit. And also, let's see, let's see, 102, I think I'm just going to delete that orange line. What I wanted to do is, let's see, just draw a downtrending, oops, not a horizontal ray. I want to do just a regular ray. Going from the high over here that was hit on, let's see, January 20th. And then, just kind of draw this line over here. I could connect it to the highs over here from January 30th and 31st. But let's see if I do it from the high from February 21st. We do then have these two pierces or touches of that level here at those wicks. And, I do think that could be actually, maybe I want to do something over here. Maybe no, because then we do have, this break above that. So I kind of like it, with these more or less like absolute highs. And so I'm just going to make that a thick white line there. Do have some confluence here, but we have moved beyond that. So I might actually move this downtrending white line there. And let's see. I do think that, this I should note, that is bullish divergence, lower lows in the price, higher lows in the RSI, that's bullish divergence. So we'll see with Bitcoin trading around 85,000 and also, trading in between these two CME gaps below 86. Where do I think this could be going, or where do I think a nice little downtrend could be placed on this? And so what I might do is, let's see, I'm just going to do another trend line here based on the low from November 12th. And then I'm just going to connect that. Well, let's see, no, I won't do it. I'll do it with the close from March 10th. And so then we don't have any closes below that level. So I don't suspect that will be changing. But that could be, kind of this, let's see, we're putting in, I'll do it in light blue. Putting in this little falling wedge pattern. And so, yeah, I do think that we could be testing 78, 79 again. So I would not be surprised by that. If we do break lower, I think that there would be some excellent dip buying opportunities at 75, 72, and possibly in the 60s, corresponding with the shaded region over here, as well as these two fib levels. And let's see, I thought I had... Yeah, this Fibonacci extension that's going to the upside just to clear up the clutter. I'm going to remove that. Excuse me. But yeah, generally, I am feeling, pretty excited about Bitcoin. I do think that the bottom could be in here with this bullish divergence, the lower lows here kind of shaking people out. And also, I believe Trump is going to be speaking about Bitcoin later today. So, yeah, I'm just overall pretty excited about it. But, happy I'll be ecstatic to pick up some shares down here. But if that doesn't happen, I'll be happy about price going up. And, also did want to mention just really briefly, Ethereum was trading above $2,000 yesterday, but now it looks like it's pulled back some. This is one that, I think there is potentially more upside potential. Potentially more upside potential. I think that there's a lot more upside potential with Ethereum than Bitcoin, just because it's really underperformed over the past year or so, and I think that people are just not too enthusiastic about it. And so this is one I would like to get some more of, get a little bit more aggressively below 2,000, but at the same time, maybe it breaks lower, so good to be prepared for that. And one thing, I was contemplating getting some more Bitcoin or Ethereum yesterday, just adding to my daily DCAs, but instead I actually decided to pick up some Ondo, ticker symbol ONDO. Just because that's, like I believe DeFi that could be used as a layer for tokenizing securities. So I'm just really intrigued by them. I kind of doubled my position yesterday, so went from $100 of it to now 200. Just in case we do start to see these alts and Bitcoin take off. But if we don't, then I would more aggressively buy ETH and Bitcoin on dips, whereas Ondo, I would just kind of chill if it dipped more. But just for the time being, wanted to get some more of that. And then just real quick, going to go over uranium. So this is ticker symbol URA, Global X Uranium ETF. Closed yesterday at 25.19. First close above 25 in some time. Did get an alert yesterday when we crossed that level. And we are trading now above, let's see, this 786 here. And so that's right around 2450. So I'm wondering if that will be pulling back, finding some support there. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, this getting back up into or right around the 30s. That being a $5 increase, which would be about a 20% move to the upside. But anyways, I did just very briefly at the end of this wanted to go over Tesla, because I'm sure that you saw the very cringe video of Tim Walz talking about getting a boost by checking the Tesla stock with it trading below 200 or at $225 a share, him talking about it just going down, and just very disgustingly getting a boost from an American company that was built by an immigrant who has built so many companies and employs so many Americans and has disrupted, the fossil fuel industry. So I would think that a lot of people on the Democratic side would be excited about a company like Tesla. Well, I definitely understand that they may not be excited by Musk himself. But also, with, getting those astronauts back to Earth and, not relying on Russia for space flight from U.S. soil, with the shuttle program ending, I believe, in, was it 97 or 98? So, yeah, I just think that Elon Musk in general, controversial, of course, but innovative and, visionary 100%. And so I just think that Tesla, with it, having been recent lows of $217 that was hit on March 11th, 217.02. I just think that it's in really, discount buying territory, especially when people are getting super emotional about Tesla in response to Elon's political involvement, people clapping, cheering about Tesla's burning and then being vandalized, just super disgusting stuff. It's an American company and we should all be rooting for each other. I am more bullish on Tesla with it down here. And, with Tim Walz video, I think going viral yesterday, he was talking about it being at 225, closed yesterday at 235.86, being up almost 5% on the day. Does look like we're getting a little bit of a pullback, around 1.6% in the pre-market, trading around 232 now. So maybe Tim is happy with that little pullback, but long term, I just think that this is going to be a great performer. I'm really excited about it. As you can see, though, I do have a number of these levels. I was expecting it to find support around 270. That did not happen. So I am actually just going to clean up some of those levels. So I'm just going to remove that. Let's see, is that the 618 there? So we don't have that obscuring our view. And let's see, I'm just going to remove that purple line. I was, let's see, wrong about that. Just kind of arbitrary too, with other highs over here. So that's not necessarily too notable, but that does look like, yeah, I should leave that purple line because it looks like it's the neckline of this inverse head and shoulder. So that did play out pretty nicely. And let's see, got the 786 here from that yellow Fibonacci retracement there around 213.64. And let's see, do you have this downtrending green line? That is a little bit lower, and then also going back to these highs over here from November of 2021. Put in, some highs testing that downtrend. And that is still a little bit lower than we're currently at. And you also might notice I do have, it looks like this gap that was filled down here at 144.43. And, of course, do going back further in time, which is going to be from the lows of March 2020, this white uptrend that I have drawn there, also intersecting with the lows from the 6th of January 2023. And so that does suggest that price could be going lower. So, I would not be too surprised if Tesla did head down to around, let's see, 165 or so. That I think that's still a possibility. I'm sure that some Democrats and all these people would be ecstatic about that, which I just find again disgusting. But yeah, I mean, if that does happen, I think it's going to be a great discount dip buying opportunity. But with a failed politician talking about being happy about this going down, people on late night talk shows cheering about vandalism of Tesla dealerships. This is affecting the American people. This is a part of the S&P 500. I think that it's kind of a bottom signal when people are so bearish after Tesla is at, let's see, from those all-time highs. I believe those were all-time highs. At a 55% discount, currently around 50% discount. Yeah, I mean, you want to be going to the sale rack. You don't want to be buying up here. You want to be buying down here. But I should note, too, I should caution that if this does head down to around 265, that would be about a 30% drawdown. So do be cautious of that. And I should probably remove that doodle because that did not happen. But anyways, I got to get headed to work. Hopefully this was helpful for you. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, you guys.